Yeah. Hello and welcome to anyone that's watching, listening, to my subscribers, I'm assuming. This is April Frey. For those that knew me at my previous school, she's one of the other amazing math teachers that students rave about and go to hang out in her room at lunchtime because there's no better place to be. So April, thank you for coming on. Thank you for taking time out of your day. You still seem ridiculously busy, despite the fact that we're in quarantine. So my first question for you is, how is the quarantine sort of impacting your life right now?
I will say that I've been making schedules for myself every day. Have I been doing everything on this schedule? Absolutely not. I'm just that person who likes to make a lot of lists, to have goals, but then I don't always accomplish them, and then I move them around to the next day. But even today, just being able, like, I woke up to watch church on TV, and I just couldn't do it. I was so tired. I don't know if it's because I'm staying up later. So I just slept in, and I don't get to do that at work. Like, if I wake up and I have to go into my job and I'm like, oh my gosh, I need a snap instantaneous. Yeah. So, I mean, the fact that I get to sleep in more, I have parents I take care of every day. They're elderly. They both have mental issues. So just getting to see them for longer periods of time, from 4 to 7 every night, I feel like we're accomplishing their goals a lot better. I'd like to maybe start cleaning their house a little bit. Just little things. I think the important thing is, if you're a person like me who makes lists for yourself, I would just not stress about it and just take things a little bit at a time, and at least try to accomplish maybe 2/3 of your list, or maybe half. And that way you're progressing towards something you want to do.
That sounds like a good habit. Yeah, I feel like one of my main challenges is finding a rhythm to the day, because like I also sleep in. So I've been setting an alarm at least to wake up at the time, because for the staff that I'm on, we are responsible for being responsive to our phones and emails. So hey Courtney, hey Alex, hey Dylan. So I'm supposed to be up, and I'm usually pretty good. I have my laptop ready to go, so I can at least check my email like first thing in the morning, even if I want to kind of snooze in a little bit. But I try to check it at least every hour or so. But yeah, having like a routine and like sticking to it has been really challenging. So actually, one thing that really helped me this morning was I talked to my mom on the phone. And in doing that, I said, all right, mom, I know this doesn't really mean anything to you, and it's going to be kind of like I'm not asking you to do anything with this information, but I'm going to do X, Y, Z when I get out of bed. And just sharing that with someone else made a huge difference for like me actually accomplishing those things. So I journaled, meditated, made breakfast, and then checked my emails. Worked on, I have like this online course that I've been working on, and then scheduled my first interview with you. And those are all the things that I told my mom I would do this morning. So I think just sharing with someone else has really been helpful.
Can I ask you a question about the meditation?
Sure.
When you do that, do you do that in silence, or do you do it to music?
I don't usually do it to music. I usually either do guided meditations where someone is kind of telling you where to bring your focus and your thoughts, or sometimes I'll just do it without anything. Like if I don't have, usually I don't want to bother my wife, so I might just set like a quiet little buzzing alarm or something for 10 minutes or so.
I read an article that it actually ages your brain backwards. It makes your brain stronger and younger to meditate. So it was something I was thinking about looking into.
Yeah. Do you meditate at all?
No, like, I mean, I did yoga for a period of time, and I loved that. I forget why I had to stop that, but I loved it. And at the end is a meditation, and sometimes I would fall asleep during it.
Yeah, I would too.
And I was like, oh, I snore in public. No, I don't want anyone to see that. No one likes that. But just can I just add on to about you calling your mom?
Yeah.
So when I went to visit my parents last night, I have a brother with a family in Maryland. And my sister-in-law made a point to call my mom yesterday, and just with the kids on the phone and everything, because they're quarantined, like they're learning from home as well in Maryland. And my mom was so like, my mom has Alzheimer's, so she can't remember things sometimes 2 or 3 hours later. But she remembered that, and it made such a positive impact in her just to hear from family that she doesn't see every day. Um, Reaching out to people that you don't get to talk to a lot. Like it makes a difference with people. Like
Yeah.
I find that I can't be near my phone all day. I do what you do. I have my email open all day so I can respond to students. We're not allowed to grade anything right now. So I've been teaching videos, but not grading anything, just opportunities. And some of them have asked me for makeup work because I think they want to work on something to some degree.
Yeah.
So I'm sending that in the mail today. But I do think like reaching, like there are days I just don't want to be near my phone because I'm just tired of responding to people. But
Yeah.
if you have that energy where you want to get out, and like I think it's a good idea to tell people your goals too, hold you
Hmm.
more accountable. But I
Yeah.
think just reaching out with a text saying, "Hey, how are you doing?" Like that's really good during this time.
Yeah, I like the idea. I've been thinking about setting a goal for myself to FaceTime or like video chat or live stream with someone else like once a day, something, just to practice being social. Because I feel like that's even something that I want to do even when I'm not in quarantine is like calling one of my college friends that I only get to see every couple months. So this will be a good opportunity to practice that. All right. So one of my first questions for you that I came up with last night.
Oh,
If
yeah.
you could teach any subject of your choice, your own like handwritten curriculum, what would you teach? Like if it weren't math, because I'm sure you love teaching your pre-calculus, but like,
Uh, I just I'm so boring. Like all we do. I mean, I've been a math person since I was 2 years old. Since I started putting puzzles together at 2. Like
mm,
it's just I always say, and I know like people like technology, and I love this opportunity to talk to you right now because I miss Mr. Watson is the best. I don't know if you guys know this. Like I was so thrilled on the first day of school when he became friends with me because I was watching his YouTube videos before that, and I was like, he's too good for me. He's never a friend, and now we're good friends. So have confidence because he's the best. Anyway, not getting on that. I like how you do your videos about just like teen topics. I think is great. I would probably do cat topics
all right.
because otherwise I'm teaching math. I always say the only thing I need to teach math is a pen and a paper or a pencil and a paper. That's it.
We're not even
So,
a calculator,
but ooh, right here. See?
but wait, do you need a calculator to teach it?
Gosh, no. Everything that you can do on the calculator, you can. I mean, we didn't have the graphic. Okay, so I don't know if you guys know this, but I'm old. So like, I graduated 20 years ago, 1996, before you guys were born. So when we
No,
were
I was born.
way before you were born, there was no cell phones, there was no graphing calculator. The graphing calculator was brand new when I was in high school, and the teachers didn't know how to use it because it was brand new. So we had to do everything by hand, like the units, circle, everything. I'm not going to talk about math, but yeah, things like that.
Yeah.
I love my cats, and I think they're great. I don't know. I don't know what I would do a written curriculum on. I thought about that question. The only thing I could think of was math.
Is there, so this will go into my next question, sort of. Um, was there something that you wished you had learned in high school that you sort of had to learn the hard way as an adult?
Yes. Well, I don't even want to say it the hard way. I just high school was a really bad experience for me at the time. I was literally, and I know everyone's like, no, it's not true, but I literally was the ugliest girl in my grade back then. Like, if you can imagine the awkward period coming out late, um, like I had the acne, the braces, the glasses, like I didn't have contacts yet, and I was like 4'10" and like had the body of a boy.
4'10"?
I was so small.
How tall? How tall are you now?
But I was 4 foot. I was like a tiny thing, and like everyone just made fun of me all day. Like I was on the bus as a senior, and like freshmen made fun of me. Like I can't even. I was such
Yeah.
a target because I didn't know how to like myself. So I think that probably started in my 20s. Like, I went to college, I was the sheltered one. I made friends there. I do have friends from high school, but they were in younger grades. So, like, I do have friends that have been with me throughout my whole life.
Mm-hmm.
And I give them a lot of credit because I was a mess. But I don't know. I never used to talk either. I know you can't imagine that. But I don't know. I think I just learned to be comfortable with myself. Like, it's definitely in my 30s. Like, because now I'm 41, but like definitely in my 30s. Like, I wish I had felt that in high school. Like, I wish I didn't care what people said to me. I wish I didn't care that people were just rude. High school is like a pit like that sometimes. Um, I think people don't realize they hurt people when they say things or do things. But they do, and we sometimes remember it. But at the same time, like, it's made me very sensitive to how my kids treat each other in the classroom. So I'm very big on people just having, you don't have to be friends with each other, but at least be respectful.
Yeah.
So I wish I had learned to be more comfortable in myself.
Now, when you started to, when you're in like your 30s and you're going through that sort of transition of learning to be more comfortable with yourself and sort of have self-respect and stuff, like, were there events or were there things that were happening that kind of led you to become that way?
I mean, you know, just having, I think people, like a lot of people, either through my church or just friends of mine, would tell me what a nice person I was, even though I didn't think I was a nice person. I don't know. Just, I got involved in a lot more things than I did when I was younger. I never went to see high school sports. I regret that because I started doing that in the past 5 to 7 years of my career. And I love high school sports. I kind of wish I played. I don't know. I'm in a bowling league now. I do bingo with old people, but I have like mad friends at bingo, so I love it. There's young people at bingo too. Bingo's a hot thing. Numbers, so I like it. You know, just I don't know. Like, I'm still looking for the guy because I'm very picky with my cats. But I will say, I don't know. I just people reinforcing that I was really cool to hang out with because I didn't think that. Like, it never told me I was. You know, I had people who sat in front of me in school just turn around and kick me in the legs for no reason, or take their braces elastics and shoot me in the back of the head for no reason.
They would. I can't say that ever happened to me where someone took the elastics out of the braces, but I know exactly what you're talking about. Wow.
Yeah, for no reason, just because I was an easy target. And it's like, if you see that person who's an easy target, yeah, it may be weird to be friends with that person or get to know that person because they may not have the best social skills, but they do learn them over time. So I would just give those people a chance and stuff because they do grow up to be kind of cool.
Yeah, I feel like I was a little bit similar in terms of like once I started getting involved with things that I cared about or getting involved in things that turned out to have sort of a positive community surrounding it. Like for me, it was student council in high school. I think that was when I started having more like respect for myself and having at least a little bit of confidence. I'll say one thing I never really did was I never dated in high school. Like my senior year, like I dated a freshman because, so for those who don't know me, I'm 6'5", and this girl's like super tall. Hi, Aspen. So like my senior year, this girl was like 5'11" or something. She was pretty close to my same height as a freshman, and I dated her for a week, but she dumped me because I was dating a freshman, which seems, I know it seems ironic, but like,
it's because her friends were making fun of her.
I don't know. I think it was actually her friends kind of peer pressured her into dumping me, but yeah. So I think finding communities that you can be yourself in, finding communities where you can find your own confidence and you're surrounded by people that respect you, I think is a huge part of growing up and finding comfort in your own self, which a lot of people don't necessarily realize until after high school.
You have the cutest dog, by the way. Your dog is adorable. She's so precious.
I know. Her name's Aspen. She is just over 1 year old. She's shedding her winter coat, so there is white fur everywhere. Right, Aspen?
I love student council. I miss working with student council. They were the most positive, happy people, and it's just a good time for sure.
Who's the new advisor for student council now that Dill's gone?
Yeah, so now that Ellen left, and she's working at the Cape and
Mm-hmm.
loves it, by the way, has a beautiful house. I went to her house in the summer, gorgeous with a pool, everything. She's living the dream out there, working at the Cape. But now it's a parent who I don't think has a kid in student council, but this parent worked with the music program. Like her kids have graduated from King Philip. Her name is Barbara Sneed,
Yeah.
and she's doing a good job. I mean, she doesn't she's
So
not
she's actually not a teacher?
no,
Huh.
but she comes in and she like helps out subbing. She also can base out of the library, like with Cheryl Rowe, and she has like a little office there where she puts things together that she needs to. And the kids, thankfully got to go to MASC before this happened because MASC earlier this year.
That's right.
It was a week earlier than normal. So, because our last day was March 12th. That was the last time we were together in school. It was a Thursday.
I think that was the same for us. I don't know if I even told you this. I was out a week and a half ahead of that because I tore my ACL.
Stop it. No,
Yeah, I got surgery tomorrow on my knee. Actually, not only did I tear my ACL, I tore my lateral meniscus and chipped a piece of bone in my knee. So tomorrow they're screwing back the piece of bone into the rest of my, well, I don't know which other bone it's going into, but yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So even I'd be very surprised if we went back April 7th, which is currently where we're going back. But if I were, I probably wouldn't be going back yet.
Yeah. Are they doing it at a surgery center and not like a hospital?
No, it's at a hospital. Because of the chipped bone, it is a non-elective surgery. So they canceled all non-elective surgeries. So they canceled all elective surgeries. But because this is non-elective, because it's non-elective, they're pushing me in there.
Okay. Yeah, you must be are you in pain right now? I'm just curious.
I'm not really in pain. It's more just like I'm annoyed at my sort of disability. It's like it's hard to walk around. I can't walk without crutches. The biggest pain in the butt. So I spend most of my time here on the couch, which is like 20 steps to the kitchen. But I can't get a bowl of something over without like spilling it. Because I have to hop if I wanna hold one arm like this for the bowl. That's like the hardest thing is like open containers I can't get from point A to point B.
That's the word. But it's like I know it's like right there, but like I get it. Like that's sucky. Like I had my meniscus torn once and I had surgery on that, and I'm glad I did. Like they say I was gonna have trouble with lateral exercise, so I'll probably tell you that too. But I've been able to move laterally. Yeah. So good for you. Good luck. I'll be saying an extra prayer for sure.
Thanks. Courtney had a question. Mr. Watson, how's your new school? And Miss Frey, how's your Corona vacation?
Go for it first.
Let's see. Well, my new school, which ironically, I've now been working here longer than I was with you guys. I like my role. So last year I taught math, and this year I'm teaching multimedia / video editing and Photoshop and Premiere and stuff. It's almost like Miss Greenleaf's position, but we don't quite accomplish as much as she does. I think some of the students are really some of the ones that she works with that like produce the KPTV, like they really want to make stuff, and I think a lot of our guys like I don't know if they like it nearly as much. It's not as much of an elective that they choose and get excited about, but one of the things that my students have been getting really good at that we will spend class time in is we use FL Studio.
Okay.
We use FL Studio to make hip hop beats, and then we'll use like Adobe After Effects for making like visualizers. Yeah. So yeah, I really like it.
I miss hip hop side. I miss your rap inside.
I did. How did you feel about the rap I did for climate change?
That was awesome. I actually shared it with the science department. I don't know what they did with it from there. I did share it with the science department.
Yeah, it was that. So one thing I'm trying to learn that I'm also trying to do, it's like a little ooh, so much hair, Aspen. One of the things I've been trying to do with our time off is make beats here and try to write rap to the music, because that's I feel like I'm not too bad at writing, but I suck at writing to a beat. So that's one thing that I've been trying to work on while I have all this time.
Yeah, you're a good writer for sure. I've seen it.
Thank you. And how's your Corona vacation going? I guess you sort of answered this earlier, but
is this Courtney from my class?
Courtney A. I know who she is. I don't want to
what's
say her
up?
last name.
No, I won't put her last name out there. I figured period C, baby. I miss our classes a lot. I really do. I know our class tends to be on the quieter side, and we get down to business a lot in that class. But I miss everybody. You know, I'm doing my best to put myself out there on the videos to teach stuff that I would have taught in term 4. Like I was going to end on an easy chapter, systems and matrices. So I decided, since that's stuff that they've seen before, I might as well just do that in this break time. I miss everybody. Like, as you can see, oh, someone wants to be on camera, Courtney. Hold on 1 second. Yes. Beautiful girl in the world right here. I'm trying to get Beyonce to notice her, and Ellen and Jennifer Lopez. This is Bella. She is a queen. She's my baby. There you are, honey. She's a little big, you know, but we don't talk about the IG word. No, we're doing good. I did answer it a little earlier that, you know, I try to make it a point to go see my parents. I try to see my parents every day. They're doing good. I'm trying to sleep in. I try to keep a schedule. I'm doing okay with it. I still have to go through portfolios. I haven't really done that yet, but I have graded all the work, and I have put it all in folders. So you guys will be getting that stuff back. And it depends on when we go back. Right now I think it's April 6th or 7th, but I'm probably going to make those optional because I know like seniors are wondering what's going on. I wonder how your vacation is. Don't be afraid to let me know how you're doing, because I would love to hear from you. But I hope you're staying healthy.
Yeah, I was still very honored to show up in the portfolio of one of your students.
Yeah, I sent the picture. You're in you're in Bella's portfolio. But it's funny. I think a lot of my seniors / juniors, I think they used a lot of this stuff from last year, which was totally fine. As long as they updated when they needed to, it was totally fine to do that.
What so what are the 2 different classes that you would have a junior and then a senior for?
So last year I taught Algebra 2 CP and Pre-Calc CP. This year I'm just doing 6 Pre-Calc CPs in a row.
So you had her for Algebra 2 last year, and now you have her for Pre-Calc?
Courtney I didn't, but Bella I did.
Yes. Okay. Let's see. I think we've answered all the questions that I came up with last night. Frey, what was that?
It's so fun just to do it.
I know, it's good to see you. What were some of the questions that we answered back when we did that? I think we said, like, if you only had, well, remember that time we made the YouTube video in my classroom, and it was something like
would you do or something? Yeah. Wasn't it like you only had a week to live what we do or something?
That sounds about right. By the way, just because I know you'll appreciate this, this is our cat George playing around with Aspen.
Oh, look at
and then
oh my god,
that right there is Samson.
Oh my god, Samson! This looks a cousin that you know about. This could be like 23 and right on here. Who knew?
Yeah, Samson's a tuxedo cat.
He's so proud. I love them. I love them.
So let's see.
Yeah, that's a lesson to promote, is that people should have pets.
Yeah.
Best thing ever.
I don't know if I would agree with that for everybody though, because like some people aren't ready for pets. Like I think if I didn't have my wife with me, I don't know if I should or would be a pet person. Like I love our cats. I love our dog. I just don't know if for some reason they were gone and Alyssa was gone. Like I don't know if I would go to get a new cat or a new dog.
I'm cutting in and out with you right now. I don't know what's happening with the video.
Yeah, I noticed that. I can hear you fine now though. Mr. Pingino, we miss you all, Zach, in school. I don't know who Mr. Pingino is. Courtney had another question. Do you think we'll be back to school on the 7th?
Ooh, I don't know. I mean, I can't predict what's going to happen. I see the numbers rising on the news every day. I try not to watch the news every day, but when I'm over at my parents' house, it's on. I don't know. I think they're going to make a decision about that soon. I just don't know when. So I really don't know.
If I were a betting man, I would not bet that we'll be back to school then.
I have a feeling we won't, but I don't want to like be wrong.
Yeah. I mean, I think based on the curves from the other countries like Italy and where we are on the curve, it does not look like we should be ending quarantine in 2 weeks. It looks like, I mean, I think I saw a report that in China and Wuhan, they were just ending their quarantine like today or tomorrow or something, because they're finally not seeing new cases. And like I don't want to be one of those guys that has that gives misinformation. Hold on a second, I gotta look this up. When
I know I saw a boy from North Attleboro, and that scared me because he's like a college kid, and he's living in his basement right now.
Quarantine.
He's like, I should have been quarantining all along. I'm like, oh, it happens. You can't blame yourself if you don't know.
Let's see. When was this article posted? What the? It's hard to get like up to date information sometimes. Normally I wouldn't like pause to like look up things on my phone, but I feel like given how much ridiculous like misinformation is out there, I don't want to be one of those peddlers of bad information. Feel free, if anyone's in the chat, if they can drop a link. Say it again.
I said that's why I'm afraid to guess.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm torn back because, you know, a part of me misses everybody. And you know, we got prom on May 29th. If that's going to still happen, I don't know. Like, everything's just up in the air until the day thing. That's what I told my students before we left.
Oh, all right. So this is... what website is this? This is on Yahoo, which I think is a fairly credible source. It says, city's been in lockdown for months, but transportation will now resume on April 8th, and people will be allowed to leave the province. The statement was posted on the local government's website Tuesday, March 24th, confirming the news. The question, though, is how long were they in lockdown for? Which we could make a prediction based on numbers, because you and me are math people. So the question is, when did their quarantine start? And then we could look to see when did ours start. And if we were doing what Wuhan did, then we could look to see when theirs would end. So let's see. When did Wuhan start quarantine?
The other thing is some of the other states are experiencing much harsher cases and conditions, and had to shut down completely. And that's kind of scary. Like, I feel bad.
Yeah, like New York City. I feel like it was sometime in February. What'd you say?
You guys can't hear that, right? The guy upstairs is vacuuming.
No, I can't hear it.
No. Okay. All right, good.
But yeah, so I'm fairly certain that Wuhan started their quarantine before March started. So they've been in quarantine for at least a month. So if it's at least a month and we started on like the 16th or something, then
yeah,
I think that it could be predicted that a quarantine will continue probably in our area at least till probably like April 16th or so. Courtney says, do you think we will have senior prom or graduation? That's another tough one, April.
I mean, prom and graduation, I don't know anything yet because we have to take this day, see what the future's. I can't look ahead to May 1st right now and see what that's going to look like. I don't know. There's a lot of factors that go into it. Or, is this shutdown and people actually quarantining going to work? Hopefully, I don't know. There's a lot of factors that we can't control that go into that.
Yeah. If there's a
Courtney and who else?
Let's see. It's a huge increase of positivity throughout the world. Can you see the comments on the side there?
I can't hear.
April,
you might have to repeat that one.
Can you see the comments on the right-hand side of your screen?
What about the right-hand side?
Can you see the comments?
Oh, do I have comments? How do I get to comments?
I think there is.
No, I think it's my.
The other day when I tried doing this with Gemma, there were multiple options. There's private chat and then there was comments. I don't know if it'll let you type in there, but maybe you can at least see it.
Hey, April.
Hey, Gemma.
Hey. Hello. You can make me. Oh, I like him.
Yeah, Dylan is one of my current students who's been working on building his YouTube channel. He's almost up to 200 subscribers. He's grinding it out harder than any of my other students when it comes to building his channel. I got to give him props for that. But Dylan, sir, I will not. I did make a beat the other day. I can happily play it for you. However, oh no, I wonder why that is.
What?
Are you messing with the connection?
Oh, it says the quarantine
started January.
January.
Oh, snap. All right, so they started, we'll round up to February 1st for easy numbers. So February 1st, actually, so that's a week before February 1st. So that's 4 weeks in February, 4 in March, that's 8, 9 is one was in January, and then 10, one was in April. So that was a 10-week quarantine they did. So we'll try again on that number. So if we started our quarantine last week, we could, if we were to follow the similar pattern to Wuhan, then add 9 weeks, including this one, which would bring us to, again, we're not we're not making real predictions. We are mapping a model of another country onto ours. Oh, hold on a second. The hospital is calling me. Probably one of the other pre-questions. Give me a minute.
Sure.
Hello? Yeah.
I know he's on silent because he's talking about the doctor. But I wanted to say happy birthday, Dylan. I know you said it's coming. You party. You should still like, I don't know, do a party, do a cake. Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So let's see. If we were to do the same thing that Wuhan did and do 9 weeks, 10 weeks of quarantine, we would go back May 11th. Now I don't know how that impacts other gatherings and such, but I don't. It said that their transportation is starting again. I don't know if that means that they're sending everyone back to work or what, but yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's not printing. Do you want me to help for a sec? All right, I'll be back in like 2 seconds. Two
Okay.
seconds. I'm just gonna look to see why my printing. I don't know why it's not printing. It should be. I'll entertain them.
Thank you, Mr. Pingino. Thanks, Gemma. I'm sorry to hear you miss school, Alex. Yeah, I think honestly for me, I just cats in there. I just miss being around people, and I've been out an extra week because of my injury. So, yeah, I think what I talked about earlier was like I really like the idea of pushing myself to video conference, like one friend a day at least, or call someone once a day. And I know that one of the other habits that's been helping me is having someone to stay accountable. Now, it's only worked for a couple days. I'm sure it could also not work, but having some source of accountability where you say to someone, "Hey, I'm gonna call you tomorrow," or "I'm gonna call this person tomorrow." I think that could be a very useful way for us to stay active. April's cat. Thanks, Dylan. Thank you, Courtney, about the surgery. How's the weather in UK? Yeah, I wonder how is the weather over there, Gemma? Thank you for being so cute and fluffy and fun to play with. I'm sorry I'm not nearly as agile to move you about. Also, thank you for turning my sweater into pure white fluff every time you get near it. It's not
I am. You're welcome. I'm here.
April, your cat joined us for a minute.
Oh, which one? Was it the white one
The one
or
you
the
showed us
tiger one?
earlier. The tuxedo.
Ah, yes. Let me show you my little boy. That was my girl. Very Beyonce. If you guys know Beyonce, this is my boy. He had a tough day. He was pretty sick yesterday, but he's doing better today. Yes. That's
Do your cats let you touch their stomachs?
Do they what?
Do they let you touch their stomachs?
Oh yeah.
Like that? Oh, nice. I feel like some cats are very against that, but we've trained at least one of our cats to really enjoy it.
See, like they don't let people just touch them anywhere. Like if you touch their butt, they'll bite you. But they'll let me touch anything because I'm their mom. Yeah, I have special status.
Nice.
Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! Oh, those people! Look at the puppy. You see the puppy? Who's that? All right, you can go play. Ow! They always scratch me in the leg. I understand that. Like, put me down and leave me alone.
What
Right.
so have you been spending any excess time on Netflix or anything?
Any what?
Have you been spending extra time on Netflix or I don't have TV here, so I only have Netflix and YouTube pretty much.
It's funny Netflix because anyone who knows Eric from the couch that I still see on Sundays, he still comes over, but he doesn't live on my couch anymore. Don't let anyone live on your couch. Best lesson ever. And don't co-sign for anyone, no matter how cute they are. Best lessons ever. Wish I had done that, or I wish someone had told me that. Anyway, no,
that's perfect right there. Is having a class about like adult. You could have that in the class of things that you would teach about adulting.
Right, and don't like someone just because they're cute. Just that's how I met Eric when I was 21. Big mistake. I should have ran. Anyway, that being said, he's for me when I was in Maryland with my family. So I have the Netflix, but I don't really understand much about the Netflix. When he comes over on Sundays, he controls the TV and the computer, so I don't get to use any of those things, even though I pay for them. So he'll watch things on the Netflix, but I'm more of a cable person. Like I like my cable channels, and I like TV. The Netflix thing, I hear about it on the radio a lot, but I don't know what to watch on it.
So you have access to it. You don't watch it.
Right. Like I did have a student recommend, Matt, my friend Matt. I had a student recommend Designated Survivor, so I watched that on the on-demand. Oh my God, 2 shows that you have to watch if you're not watching. Homeland, insane right now. Like if anyone doesn't watch Homeland, that is a binge watching show.
I used to watch that. That's Showtime, right?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yeah, it's the last season, which makes me very sad. If I had, I don't know. If I had my own curriculum and I could do my own videos, I'd probably just do like a bachelorette. But since there's nothing really good out there, it'd probably be a waste of time. It'd probably be more fun to laugh at, like the real Bachelorette, which is not really real. Right. Oh, Survivor's good. If you're Survivor.
I was gonna say I'm gonna say something that could be possibly controversial. So on Netflix, there's a show called Big Mouth, and it's extremely raunchy. It's very like inappropriate. Has a lot of adult concepts in it, and just they're kind of over the top with like sex stuff. However,
like Shameless.
Say it again.
Kind of like Shameless.
Yeah, it might be in terms of content. This is an animated show. One of the things that I really like about it is I think despite the almost childlike fascination that they talk about sex on the show, there's some also really good lessons about like loving your body, and like they did an episode which was so the gym teacher that teaches health doesn't actually know anything. He's just like a super dumb character. And so the kids are explaining to him like what Planned Parenthood is. And on it, I'm going to be honest, I was fairly ignorant as to what Planned Parenthood is and was. And in the episode, all the students explain to the gym teacher what Planned Parenthood is and the difference between what people think it is based on headlines and what it actually is. So I think it's like a over the top animated like sex education almost, and I feel like it personifies like middle school and like young high school kids' hormones. And like there were moments where I was like, oh my God, like I hate how true that is. And I was asking my wife, like, because it goes the male and the female perspective, definitely more male, but I asked her, like, are any of these things accurate? Like, did you go through this as a girl too? And she's like, not all of it, she said, was accurate, but I don't know. I thought that it was I think it's a surprisingly good show for how crappy it seems in terms of its content. So if you end up watching it, give it like a show or two, just because I did find some like valuable nuggets in there, despite the ridiculousness of so many of the things that they do. I feel like I've been wanting to say that out loud and say it again.
It also reminds me of South Park.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, because South Park has good messages in it too, and it's super raunchy a lot. Yeah. Trying to think what other things we've been watching. How's your pantry doing? I feel like I think Alyssa's gonna go shopping tomorrow, when we're a little nervous about going out into the jungle of the grocery store. How's your food supply holding up?
I can't make out any of your words.
Damn it. How is your food supply holding up? How is your food supply? Oh, okay. Yeah, ours is slowly.
Our is going to dwindle probably in the next 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, food supply is. I make dinner night.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah, I'd try to make dinner when I can, because my Alyssa still has to work because she works at a vet. She's a vet tech, and so technically that's still a what's it called, like a necessary business or something. Yeah, the only part about it is people are using it inappropriately by saying, oh, your business is still open, so that means any of your services are still open. So they're still going in for like cat's like nail trimming or something, which this is not the time to do that. Like that can wait, or you can figure out how to do it at home, right?
Yeah, I couldn't really hear much, but I know what you mean. Like when Maddie was throwing up all yesterday, he hasn't today. So I didn't call the vet because I figured I would wait a couple of days.
Yeah. I think that's a case where like you might even consider bringing them in, but like people are bringing in non-sick animals, and it seems like it should be only sick animals that people are bringing in. Like don't bring your cat in if they are if they just need a nail trimming. So it's a little disappointing hearing how people are still not really listening to our governor's advice.
Right.
Well, April, is there anything else we should talk about before we go?
I'd be happy to do this again sometime if you want to do it again. Like but I like to do it with people. I think that's smart, and it's a good way to reach out to them. So my advice to everyone would just stay healthy, keep distancing, and taking care of people you love, and finding things to do.
Yeah, I was thinking about taking up knitting. I think my wife has all the stuff for it.
Good at that.
Yeah.
Yes, knitting and crocheting. It's a good time. Or cross stitching.
I don't know what that is. Is that the one where you get like the metal like circle thing, and then you put the stitch in it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All that stuff. I had a neighbor who taught me that when I was popular. I loved it. It was the best stuff.
Yeah.
There's a lot of how-to videos.
Yeah. Yeah. The only hard part is getting the materials for it, I guess. I've been playing a ton of so my one problem for my habits is this right here. My wife got a Switch a couple years ago for Zelda, and I've been playing Tetris 99. So what?
What is that?
Nintendo Switch.
Is it Oh,
It's like
who is that? Is
it's
that
like
correct?
if you were to, so the cool thing about it is you can, I don't know how to do this. You like the red and the blue thing detach. This one does it. I always forget how to do. So that thing detaches, and then you can play this
Okay.
like on a big screen too. And you can take this off and this off, and then you have two controllers. So like if you want to play Smash Bros or something, you could play this for two people. So that's been demolishing some of my time, just playing. I'm getting ridiculously good at Tetris. Which those that like math. Say that again.
I can't hear anything. Is it Xbox or something?
No, different. Nintendo.
Oh, Nintendo. I'm glad they're still around.
Yeah. Well, I think you had some good advice to wrap us up, to keep finding things, keep busy, having a schedule, finding habits and accountability to, or I think you had said at the beginning, writing down lists helps you out. So for people struggling to stay upbeat, find people to talk to. We have tons of technology out there, especially if you're watching this, and stay positive and keep social distancing, because remember that you're doing people a favor by not being a carrier, not helping them get sick. April, it has been wonderful having you here.
Check on the app.
Well, but don't, unless you're taking care of them directly like you are, I would not recommend actually visiting them.
No, don't visit them. I'm saying, like, if you can help them out in any way, like mow their lawn. Like, really.
Well, it just snowed here for us yesterday, but I get it. I get it.
It's
all right.
5 degrees today.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you all for watching. Thank you again, April, for coming on. Maybe we'll do this again in the near future, especially if we're going to be doing this for a month. Feel free to, from your students, to get questions that we could add to this interview for round 2 if you want to. All right?
Bye.
Bye. Stay weird, humans.
Thanks, Zach. Good luck in your surgery, you.
Thank you.